Don't you love this nice gray wet day we're having? We're in the middle of this bomb cyclone, so to speak, weather pattern. This big storm that's hitting the west coast of the United States. And those big trees up there, their root systems don't like it when the ground's wet and the winds pick up, as you all know. So one of the things are chainsaws. I think most of us all have a chainsaw or two. I've got a few. I even have an electric one, and we'll get to that one later. But this is one of my chainsaws. It's a great little saw to keep in the truck and take limbs down and cut little trees, even some decent sized trees. This little 025 will handle a little bit more than you would think, but the point is it sits forever. And this particular saw was sitting out in my shed, covered in mildew and grimy nastiness. And so I know I haven't run it for over a year. My fault, my bad. So I wanted to share with you guys, go check on your equipment. This saw might help me get down the driveway today or tonight if the tree comes down. And so dump out the old fuel, fill it with some fresh fuel, check your air filter, which is obviously in here. If you guys know how to run a saw, obviously you know how to maintain them, I'm sure, but sometimes a reminder is what we all need, and I needed one today. I had a conversation with 318, and it reminded me that, oh man, yeah, I've got chainsaws, but will they start? So, fuel goes bad, spark plugs need cleaned or replaced, just replace them, it's cheaper. And make sure they're gonna start up for you and run when you need them. Since this sits for a long period of time, I started using VP small engine fuels. This is a company called VP Racing, and I've used their fuels since I was probably a teenager racing motocross, and they've got a million different fuels. But in the last few years, they've started making fuels for small engines that you can find at Tractor Supply. And it's pre-mixed with oil. It meets the specs for steel, it's all good. But it doesn't go stale as easily. So if you've got chainsaws like mine where they sit, you don't use them weekly or monthly or shoot even half the year, you might just think about draining the nasty fuel out of the tank, leaving it empty, and having some of this on the shelf ready to go because it'll last quite a while. Then also make sure that your oiler tank is full. I use the steel oil, just easy to buy it while you're at the saw shop, and it works great. The VP fuel, great stuff. Your engine will run crisp. It almost smells like the race fuel, which is kind of interesting. So, but the big thing is it stays fresh a whole lot longer than pump gas, and it's 94 octane, so it's going to work in all your small engines just fine. The downside, it's stupid expensive. If you're using your saw weekly, don't buy this stuff. If you're like me and your saw sits for a long time, then this is a decent investment because you can open it up, fill up the saw, fill up a leaf blower, whatever, and it's fresh and it's going to run and not be gummed up in your carburetors. But I run the 50-to-1. They have 40-to-1 and 50-to-1 options, and it runs perfect in this little saw. It runs in all my little steel 2-cycle equipment and the 4-mix equipment. Yeah, so before you're stuck behind a downed tree in this nasty weather, go check on your chainsaws, and go check on any other equipment that you might need to get your car out the driveway or clear something away from your walkways, who knows what. And make sure it's got fresh fuel, and make sure that thing's gonna start and run and it's oiled up, and if it needs a oil change, if it's a big engine, needs an oil change, get that done too. Stay safe out there, guys. It's not always just about radios.